Welcome to Debbie's Back Porch. So glad to have you with us again tonight. Tonight we're going to make carrot coriander soup. But what we're really going to do is spend some time teaching you how to develop your own recipes. So when we're done, you'll have 5 or 6 different recipes from almost the same ingredients. Take a moment, write these down. Let's get cooking. I'm starting here with a 1/2 stick butter in a 5-quart Dutch oven. This is my enameled cast iron Dutch oven. And I'm going to add about an equal amount of olive oil. They both bring a different flavor. You can use one or the other. I wanted a little bit of the olive oil in this and a little bit of that butter flavor. That's up to you. Here I have about a tablespoonful of finely grated ginger. You can use about a 1/2 teaspoonful of powdered ginger if you would rather, but I have this and it brings a great flavor. So I'm going to stir that into the butter. I've got this on a low heat because I don't want to scorch that, but I do want some of the flavor to release. So I'm going to let it simmer for just a minute. Now I'm going to add a fairly finely chopped potato. This was a large potato. If you don't have a large one, use 2 medium ones. This is not for the flavor, even though it will bring its flavor. This is a thickener. I want to make a cream-based thick soup. And you can thicken with many things, not just flour. And a lot of people are avoiding wheat gluten now. So I'm trying different things. This is a potato for thickening. You could use white beans for thickening. You could use rice for thickening. This is 2 cups of my homemade turkey bone broth. I use them interchangeably. You can use chicken. You could use beef, but it's fairly strong. I like chicken broth in a lot of things. It's a neutral flavor. And then I'm going to add the 2 cups of carrot water from my canned carrots. And if you're using fresh carrots, use about 2 pounds chopped finely and use 4 cups of chicken broth. And as usual, I forgot something. This is a 1/2 of a large onion chopped. You can make the quantity according to that. And I really should have put it in the butter with the potatoes, but I didn't. I forgot, and it'll be okay. They'll get soft. Gonna let this come to a boil. I want the potatoes to get good and soft. And I'm adding about a teaspoonful of salt. It may need more later. This is a pretty high volume soup. But potatoes need some salt while they're cooking or they really just don't have any flavor. So I'm going to stir that around good, let it come to a boil, then I'll turn it down to a simmer. I've let this simmer now for about 20 minutes. We want the potatoes to be really good and done, and I mean really done. If you can take one and crush it on the side of the pot, it's done enough. See, I'm getting the starch out. So it's time to add the herbs, and let's talk a little about herbs. This is a 1/2 teaspoonful of coriander, which is basically cilantro seeds ground up. But you can use many different herb profiles. You could add some cardamom, cumin and curry and turmeric all seem to go together. You want to get what you like. Just plenty of salt, plenty of pepper, and then the mixture of herbs that you like. So I'm going to add an 1/8 of a teaspoonful of red pepper flakes just because I like them. And it adds just a tiny, tiny little bit of a bite. And it's a good contrast with the sweetness of the carrots. And then I'm going to add my carrots. I drained them and reserved the juice. You saw me put that in earlier. If you were using fresh carrots, you would put them in with the potatoes. But we didn't want these canned carrots to cook that long. Speaking of herbs, my friend Judy Strauss has a great website and a great book. Her book is The Charmed Garden, and it's all about growing and using herbs so that you can learn to make these herb combinations any way you like. And you can test them and see what suits you and your family. This is about a 1/4 cup of chopped cilantro. You can use parsley instead. I know some people don't care for cilantro. I love it, but your goal is for everybody in your family to love it. So if you have a cilantro hater, use the parsley. This is already pretty and it's already tasty, and if you wanted to, you could stop right now. Another tasty option would be some chopped kale. That would go great with this. So the secret here is to taste as you go, adjust as you need. This is your soup. You want to make it the way you like it. Let it cook a little and then taste. And I'm thinking we need a little more salt and a little more coriander. So we'll make those adjustments. We'll give it a good stir, let it simmer for just a minute, and then taste it again. This tastes really good, and I think if I had a little fresh dill, I would put that in too, but no need to go overboard. Just the cumin and the salt. I'm going to let this simmer a couple minutes before I taste it again to let the flavors meld. And take note of what you add so that next time you'll have everything written down. Let me try this again. You know, I think we're about there. I'm going to turn the heat off and take it over to the counter to blend it. I'll be right back. The cord on my immersion blender won't reach this far. You don't have to blend this. It was an amazing tasting soup already. But I kind of want a cream soup, so I'm going to blend it with the immersion blender. You can use a regular food processor or a regular blender. You can also strain it after you've blended it if you want it really, really smooth. I'm not going to do that. I want just a little chunks. I'm going to taste it again. It's still a work in process, but we're getting right where I want it to be. And the tasting is a big part of that. Now I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of creme fraiche. This is my homemade creme fraiche. You can use sour cream, you can use heavy cream. I've kind of gotten hooked on this homemade creme fraiche, and I've got a video to show you how to make it. I want to get it all in there. Sorry for the angle. We'll blend that in and then we'll try it again. I think I need somebody else to taste. So I called my sister-in-law Mary in from the garden to get her to taste it because I'm getting palate fatigue, which happens sometimes. So I'm going to let you in on this conversation.
I need something. It may just be salt and pepper. I think it is. The first taste, now taste on into it.
Does it need salt or does it need sugar? We decided on 2 tablespoons full of maple syrup, and we were right. I'm going to blend it, heat it back up, and plate it up. You have to be careful with sugar and carrots though, or you'll make a dessert. Looks pretty good as is, but let's dress it up just a little bit. You know, garnish adds so much. This is a tablespoonful of the creme fraiche. You can use sour cream, you can use heavy cream, you could use 1/2 and 1/2. So just pull the knife through a little bit to make a design, to pretty it up a little bit. And I'm going to add a little cilantro. You can use fresh parsley. I tried sage and I didn't like the way that looked. Mint leaves would work too, whatever you have. So there you have our absolutely original make it up as you go along carrot coriander soup. It's wonderful because it's how we like it, and you should make it the way you like it. Thank you for joining us on Debbie's Back Porch. Hope to see you again tomorrow.